I built a 150K per month AI agency, and I'm about to show you exactly how to copy me in 2025. Traditional SMMA is dying. Right now, we are in an AI revolution.
SMMA is dead. AI just killed it.
There will come a point where no job is needed.
It will affect every single job out there. Don't put your head in the sand. It is going to replace jobs. So did the tractor.
Your company is not going to go out of business because of AI. Your company is going to go out of business because another company used AI.
That's making me and a smart group of entrepreneurs rich while everyone else is fighting over 2K retainers. The craziest part, though, is I've discovered a way to leverage AI tools that let you build, launch, and scale an agency with just a few simple steps. No coding, no huge team, and no competition. I'm talking about using AI to find your perfect niche, craft your irresistible offer, and automate 90% of your operations. In this video, I will show you the exact AI stack that I use: GoHighLevel for lead management, SynthFlow for AI calling, and CloseBot for texting. A combination that is letting me charge $10,000 per package while the competitors struggle to justify their service. I want you to steal my blueprint. In the next few minutes, I'll break down step by step the system that's generating me millions for my agency and my students. This isn't just theory, this is the exact model I'm using right now in 2025 to dominate the market. There's a massive shift happening in the business and automation AI world. And no, AI is not going to take your jobs. It's not going to take your business. But the people that understand AI better than you are going to take your jobs and going to take your business. One of the most valuable positions in companies over the next couple years is the person that can go in and integrate AI technologies to not only increase revenue, but to decrease operational expenses. And if you understand how to leverage AI to make money and cut down and spend less money, then you'll be set up for a position for success. You see, most traditional agencies are losing clients to AI-powered ones. Traditional agencies are dealing with churn rates at an all-time high, stupid saturation where every single person is running a marketing agency that's selling the same service. So when you go to your prospects and you hop on sales calls, they're asking you what makes you different than all the other 10 companies that I've tried before. You're also dealing with low profit margins where you're working 24/7, 365 for a little bit of funds just because of the operational expenses and drag that goes into running an agency. Students in my programs right now are hitting $30,000 to $50,000 per month in the first 90 days, selling AI agents for $1,000 a month and AI marketing for $2,000 a month. This has allowed them to have a much longer LTV and not only make clients money with ads, but also save them money by cutting employee costs. Don't be one of these agencies that are stuck in the 2022 SMMA model with saturation, no differentiation, churn, low profit, and most importantly, Facebook coming to kill us. In 2016, Ty Lopez was the first person to say, go to a local business, charge them $1,000 a month to run their Facebook ads.
The biggest trend and opportunity of 2017 is for you to get small businesses to pay you to do their social media marketing.
And since then, we've had millions of dollars generated and thousands of agency owners hopping into the market. But it's not the same model. Doing what worked 5 years ago is not going to work today, especially in online marketing. There is a new value proposition coming to the market that the clients simply can't resist. The most valuable people over the next coming years will not only be able to make companies money with AI, but also cut costs with AI at the same time. So you want to start positioning yourself as an AI implementation expert, or in other terms, an AI integrator, not just another marketer running ads. You want to use AI to sell something that they've never seen before. When you sell AI on top of your traditional marketing services like Facebook ads, for example, it gives you the benefits of almost running a SaaS company, where once clients get on your software and they're using your AI agents, they won't leave, because you're replacing thousands of dollars in operational costs. So even if they have one bad month with Facebook ads, they're not going to just jump ship entirely because you're so integrated within their business. This is how you create a sustainable and long-lasting agency in 2025. Now, I know what you're thinking. AI can be pretty complex to implement into a business. It can also be pretty complex to start over from scratch or to build an AI agency when you don't necessarily know what an AI agency is, what it does, all the different components of starting and launching a business, right? But here's what I'll tell you. With AI, it is now easier to start, scale, and launch an online business than ever before. Or it's also easier to, if you have an existing business or agency, to transfer it over to AI. We want to consider the 80-20 principle here. I'm not telling you to just go in and over AI everything for using the sake of AI. You want to use the 80-20 principle, which is 20% of the automations that you actually implement will be really driving forward marketing, sales, operations, fulfillment, and churn. So basically, you want to focus on leveraging AI that makes you money and moves the needle forward. There's a way to use AI for every single component of your business. The key, again, is to focus on using AI to remove the biggest bottlenecks in your scaling first. For marketing, for example, you can use AI to create more ad creative than ever and get better ad results than our competitors. We can use AI to run cold email campaigns that send thousands of personalized emails. We can leverage AI in DMs, use AI to get more cold calling. Whatever your method of client acquisition is, AI can significantly help speed up the process. For the sales side of things, imagine if Alex Hormozi, Jeremy Miner could review every single one of your sales calls and give you personalized, instantaneous feedback on your sales process. What would that do to your sales overall? Well, we've actually created a bot where every time a sales intro or demo takes place in my company, it rolls through an Alex Hormozi, Jeremy Miner, and Cole Gordon bot that reviews everything relative to their actual sales training, then gives me instantaneous feedback on how I can improve my sales overall. This has been huge to dialing in my sales process. In the fulfillment side of things, our team of AI agents can call, text the client's leads, nurture them, and get them booked in for an appointment. This is a really huge part of the process, as most call centers for previous agencies, while they would get better results than the clients calling all the leads, there was a lot of operational complexity that goes into it. And as somebody that's managed a call center of 16 plus people that cost me $20 plus thousand a month, I can tell you this is a game changer in how much of a pain in the ass it is to build a call center, to manage it, and now it's done completely with AI. When it comes to AI, implementing everything I just said is great, but what really comes down to the effectiveness is being able to implement it with speed. Speed of implementation is your competitive advantage. Do not wait to start implementing AI into components of your business or learning these advanced AI tools. I mean, you can wait. But how well did that work for Blockbuster that wanted to wait? Let's say you waited until AI got more advanced to implement. Well, waiting really worked out for Blockbuster, who had a chance to buy Netflix for $50 million, but didn't believe in streaming and thought that they would wait and see how it integrated with society. Do not make this mistake. AI is the greatest opportunity to make money of our entire lives. Do not miss out. Now that you understand the true importance of artificial intelligence in creating an online agency, we can leverage AI to compress the timeline of starting up to actually getting profit and income. Before, you had to do everything manually and guess if it was correct. I remember having such a clear and obvious niche, and I wasted so much of my time, probably weeks, going in and thinking about all these other niches and directions that I could be going with the agency. Whereas from the beginning, if you have a clear offer and a clear niche that you can push into the market, it's a lot quicker to start focusing on acquisition, sales, and fulfillment rather than organizing the dumb stuff of creating a business. Do you guys know what a business is? A business is just a piece of paper that sits in some lawyer's office that says you are able to do business under this name. It's nothing crazy, guys, but all the other components that go into a business can be overwhelming at first, and AI can really cut down that timeline. Most people, when they start a business, take forever just to register their LLC or create a custom email, and once that's done, they think they actually have a business, but yet the business just got started. What if you could identify the perfect niche and create a compelling offer in less than a few minutes. With the right AI prompts, you can eliminate weeks of research and testing. Again, we've covered, Nathan, I'm ready to rock and roll on AI. I'm excited to start leveraging it and learning some new things. But which niche should I go in? Most common question that we get asked. What I've done is I've actually created a ChatGPT prompt that will help you select the best niche for you. This leverages things like your previous ChatGPT data, a mix of your own expertise in individual hobbies, interests, etc. All you have to do is copy this prompt, paste it into ChatGPT, answer a few questions, and then within a few minutes, you will have a niche that it will select for you. Now that we have our niche selected, we need to come up with the second most important part, which is the offer. Right? There is a reason that Alex Hormozi wrote his first book on $100 million offers and has since captivated the market on high-level cutting-edge offers. You need to figure out what you are actually going to sell these people. So what I've done is I've created a prompt down below that you can leverage to answer a few quick questions to figure out your $100 million offer. Now that you've locked in a niche, you understand the offer that'll captivate the market, the next thing to consider is the actual tech stack we're going to use to make this happen and get results for our clients. So we leverage a few technologies that are very important to this process. You see, most agencies use the wrong tools and they lose efficiency. Most of the time, agencies just need a few key softwares that do a few very specific things really well, and they have a profitable agency. You don't need to analyze and overbuild and have 50 different softwares that all do one function. Most of the time, you need to pick 2 or 3 specific softwares that you are going to make millions of dollars with. Now, let me show you the exact tech stack that's generating millions for my agency, a system so effective that clients are willing to pay $10,000 plus for implementation. The first software we're going to be leveraging is a software called GoHighLevel. This is kind of like the command center for managing the leads or your clients' data. So most of the time in marketing, you're generating leads for your clients. This is where you can manage all the leads, set up sales nurture sequences, a lot of automation. It is probably the most essential go-to software that basically every agency worth its money has leveraged in their business. So you go to GoHighLevel.com, you can start a 14-day free trial. I'm going to log in really quick and show you what it looks like from my end. Once you get access to GoHighLevel, it's going to look like this. GoHighLevel is kind of like your Swiss Army knife when it comes to the software tech stack. So what you'll do really quick in a more advanced tutorial I'll show you later on, we're going to switch to a sub account, create each sub account for our clients, and I'm going to pop in there. Once I'm in there, I have opportunity to leverage a dashboard, see all my clients' relative data and information, see where their opportunities are at, how much their conversion rate is, how much money they're making, etc. Conversations is where we can manage conversations. So this is like text, emails, calls, WhatsApp messages, and allows you to text the leads, email the leads, IGDMs, whatever, the client leads that you're generating and turn them into sales. Calendars is another really cool function where you have the ability to mimic kind of like a Calendly function where they can book where they can book calls directly on your calendar. So think about this from an agency perspective. When you have somebody that's interested in your services, you send them a link to book an appointment and book on a calendar with you. And same thing for your clients. When a lead's interested, they can book an appointment on your client's calendar for them to discuss the client's services. Contacts, again, will just manage the overall section of where the contacts are at in their specific stages. Opportunities is another really good tab you can use to see where leads are at in their pipeline. So is this a new lead? Are we following up? Have they scheduled an appointment? Do they show up? Are they on a treatment plan, or do they convert and close? No shows, email list, do not disturb, things like that. That way that you're not spamming leads that have told you to stop, or you're not spamming leads that have already bought services from you. So really, really relative software there. So essentially there's 2 main setups you want to do in GoHighLevel. You want to set up your client accounts. For this one, I'm using my test snapshot account, and you want to set up your agency's account, right? You want to make sure that both of these are set up properly. So when I go into my agency account, for example, I want to make sure that I have a data system to manage all the leads that come in. So obviously we have a ton of leads at all different stages of the pipeline and need to manage those leads. So we essentially have when a new lead comes in from Facebook ads or Instagram DMs, cold email, whatever, they book appointments on our calendars and automatically pops into here. Now, what this can do is it can go in and we can set up some automations. Really from the beginning, all you need is honestly like two initial automations, which is a appointment reminder sequence. So when they book an appointment, they actually get a certain set of reminders, and maybe a lead nurture system, right? So what we have essentially is like an email nurture sequence, right? So once they book in to speak or they can become a lead, we have a full sequence. This is like, hey, congratulations, you just got a new patient, blah, blah, blah. You'll be seeing a lot of that line recently, and it gives them a, some kind of more information to go through, right? So full workflows don't have to be too complicated, and you can initially have ChatGPT in 2 seconds write you guys most of this, right? So you just need initial lead nurture campaigns. There might be some basic stuff that you set up. A lot of my stuff is a little bit more advanced as I've gotten to this point in my agency, but you don't need anything too crazy, right? All you really need to start out with is the new lead nurture sequence, and when an appointment is booked, puts them into an appointment reminder sequence, something like that. So I showed you my new lead sequence, it's our email nurture sequence. So I've showed you my lead nurture. Let me show you really quick what our appointment reminders look like for the intro calls. I will have this automation set up right when an appointment trigger status is created. They booked an intro call. It immediately sends a notification to Slack and lets us know we create the opportunity, removes them from various other workflows, get an internal email, a confirmation email, SMS, and things like that. Basically just saying like, hey, your intro call is confirmed. Check out what this doctor has to say about us, and we basically leverage in the next point of it. Overall, there's so many use cases for GoHighLevel. Don't overcomplicate it. Yes, it does a lot of key features, but it's pretty easy to get up and running. I can create a new business in less than an hour using GoHighLevel and some of the base AI tools that I just mentioned. Now that we have a place for all the leads to flow into, what happens when we're generating these leads for our clients? Well, we need a software that will either call or text our clients' leads and book them in for us. And that's where SynthFlow comes into place. SynthFlow is a software that uses an AI calling agent to call all of our clients' leads and then book them in on the client's calendars. This is really useful as most clients suck at nurturing their leads and are limited by human error, right? So if I can have leads calling everybody 24/7, 365, no days off, no break, no 6 days, etc., it can increase my clients' conversions dramatically. With SynthFlow, it's very easy to set up. You can even run a free trial. Once you have gotten yourself set up, SynthFlow is so easy to set up. You can get AI agents working within a few minutes. What I'll do is in a separate video go over the more advanced SynthFlow setup, but for right now I'm just going to show you what it's capable of doing. Once you get logged into SynthFlow, initially it'll look something like this. This is where you have your typical agents column, and you can create inbound, outbound agents or agents for different clients. What I'm going to do is really quick show you how to create an agent in 2 seconds. You can even use their AI version and quick agent setup relative to presets to continue faster, but I'm gonna show you how to set it up from scratch, right? Let's say we want to create an outbound agent to call all of our clients' leads, something like that, right? Really quick, right off the bat, we need to just assign a phone number. Phone numbers is super easy. I've already set up a phone number in my setting column for the sake of this video. It takes 2 seconds and it costs like $1, right? So now once I've set it into this phone number, this is going to be the phone number that's calling from. I go back to my agent and then let's edit some other settings, right? So first thing I need to do is configure the agent name, models, pretty straightforward. But the biggest thing I want to do is I want to connect a knowledge base. So as a quick hack, what I can do is I already have some knowledge bases set up in this pretest prompt base, but what I can do is I want to feed this proper data so that it knows what we're trying to accomplish, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go really quick back to SynthFlow. I'm going to set up a knowledge base, and let's create a new knowledge base. Let's call this one decomp. When they search one, this is for an outbound agent. So let's say when an outbound call is made. Create. Now what you can do is a couple different things. What I like to do is go through ChatGPT and either have it transcribe client calls. So if you have client calls that have already been made, you can transcribe and pop in there, or I'll paste in decompression type of scripts. So basically before, I had all of my call center reps go through this huge intricate monster of a script every single time they would call clients leads, right? And it was so good. But what I can do is I can literally just take this script, and I'll even link an option of this below so you can kind of see what I do for my call center scripts, and I can paste it in as the document section. What I would probably do is go into ChatGPT, create a new ChatGPT, and say, I am creating an AI agent knowledge base in SynthFlow. My agency is a chiropractic agency that helps patients book appointments with our chiropractors to convert into high-ticket decompression plans. What I want you to do is analyze the decompression master script that I'm going to give you as a link below this. I want you to analyze that script, think of the most commonly asked questions, objections, etc., so that we can give and build a copy and paste knowledge base that I can paste into SynthFlow to develop my AI agents. Something like that, guys. It doesn't have to be too insane. Now I'm also going to go in and pop in my script link and let it run. As I go through and I'm building out more of my advanced agents, I'll go through and I'll add certain things over time and refine this process a little bit more. But this is how you can get running in like 5 minutes. So it did a really good job example of explaining what it is we are actually selling. That's a very important thing, right? Conditions, treatment frequency, costs, insurance coverage. It'll also pull back from my list. It's already starting to go through and think about, most commonly asked questions. How soon will I get relief? Are there side effects? And it's starting to build out a pretty good database. So once this database is done filling it out, you can even do like a deep research on it and get a really crazy advanced one. But I like to get it running and then test the hell out of it and then refine it as I go along. So now I literally have a full knowledge base instantaneously with AI. I'm going to copy that, paste it into here, and I'll show you guys the next step. So now that I have the response copy from GPT, I'm just going to go into a blank document. I'm going to create GPT knowledge base. You can literally paste in that prompt and then click upload. So now when I go back to my agents and my outbound agent, I go into configure, I can change the knowledge base to the decompression, the decomp that I just added, and it will have that knowledge base. You can also, again, add in things like call recordings and other stuff to get it fancier over time. But now from there, I can literally go in and test the agent and give it a test call. Now that I have everything imported into SynthFlow, you can go ahead and you can test out the actual agents, like have visual conversations with them before you go in and integrate it fully. Once your agent is set up, you can go ahead and feel free to test the agent, ask it a little bit more advanced questions, have your clients test it, and give you guys feedback on iterations and dialing things in. Dotting some I's, crossing some T's is going to be very important to building up the bots over time. But once you have the initial knowledge base and the initial configuration of the bot set up, it's a lot easier to copy and paste these agents across multiple clients. So that you can set up your clients in a few minutes and they can get really good results. So what I would do is I would test it and I would configure the prompt more so over time. Once you have a voice agent set up, you're going to want to set up an agent that handles all the texting conversations. There's a few ways to do this. GHL has a bot, there's CloseBot, there's some other softwares. I recommend using CloseBot. It's essentially a ChatGPT wrapper, which will go in and send all of the text via various prompts to ChatGPT, send back the message, and handle that process. I still like using the wrappers like a CloseBot or a PointWise, for example, over setting up all this stuff by yourself because it just overcomplicates the process. Plus, a lot of these guys have a lot more data than you do, so that's why I recommend using a closed bot. But AI texting is outperforming human follow-up in almost all realms. About 20% of our overall appointments come from text. That allows us to hit leads 24/7, 365, and have full-on conversations at 2, 3 a.m. when leads are available to text, right? What you can do here is either set up a closed-bot AI or an appoint-wise setup. I would recommend closed-bot for the most up-to-date examples. I've used appoint-wise in the past, but it's pretty straightforward. What I can do is I set up this quick example. You can go in and create an AI strategies for like Mill Creek Chiropractic, for example. I have the strategy name of the client, tags for the setup that we're doing, and it has these little sliders that I like where you can increase the objection handling, you can increase the qualification priority, like do we need really quality candidates or just anybody can book in, things like that, as well as creativity, right? So in 2 seconds, you can just tell it you're an AI assistant for a chiro client or whatever your niche is, paste in this prompt of like location information, times they're available, and things like that. Then from step 2, you can just have it start base initial conversations. I'm the intake coordinator for blank. I wanted to call and ask you some questions. Then it'll ask their qualification questions, and then it can link to either do a few things. You can literally select a automatic calendar in GHL to book in it automatically, or it can send the clients a link to go in and book themselves. I like using the GHL calendar itself, right? You can refine the knowledge base a little bit more, like a few specific questions, but chat overall doesn't need as much knowledge-based prompting as the AI caller will. Now that you've seen how AI is transforming the agency landscape in 2025, you need to understand why traditional SMMA is becoming obsolete. And there's a fundamental change that's making traditional agency owners struggle while AI-first agencies are thriving with higher margins and less work. So check out this video where I show you exactly why you need to stop selling SMMA services and start selling AI services instead if you want to build a profitable agency in today's market.